We're live. I have some stories today. I got stories. Lots of stories. Stories about this chip here and several others just like it. But before I get into this chip and really dig deep about how I don't know anything about this chip, and yet I've been able to use it quite effectively, which is kind of what we do here, really. We don't know what's going on, but we can just click around, hit all the buttons, and then eventually it works, right? Stories. So all this started by, being behind, by being behind. As you know, I write a bunch of notes down. Every time you give me advice and you tell me this is how it's supposed to actually be, I write it down and I learn and I do things. And you guys have been telling me a lot, like, especially recently. I have a bunch of things that I haven't implemented because there's several things going on. I'm trying to build the thing that I'm trying to build. I'm trying to learn how to build things. I'm doing a lot. Now I have a dedicated server, which is the reason that I'm behind, and it's fully set up completely. I'll show you. This is why I'm behind, but it's a good thing. And I set it up so that it's a little hidden. In other words, I can actually show you without showing you, so that I stay protected, because this is next level. So I made it hidden, but I still want to kind of show you, even though I'm not showing you. I know. Here are the servers that I'm running, or the containers. It's one server. See, this is the thing. It's the terminology wise, it's a little difficult. This is the servers. You got some processes. This is processes. Stuff that keeps happening. This is cron. I don't even know what that one specifically is. I have some stats about what's up and what's down. And again, I'll explain all these things about the chip in a bit, so stay tuned, because this is my entry into Linux, which I don't even know what's going on. I'm running Ubuntu. I believe it's like version 24 or something. The dedicated server, when you get it, they kind of set a couple of things up for you, but then they let you do whatever you want. And so now I have things running on my server, such as the game that we've been building, keywars.io. And for anyone who's completely unfamiliar and doesn't even know what this is, it's just a little game. I built it. I'm still building it. It used to be running on something called Railway, okay? And Railway is basically a hosting provider, kind of like Vercel. Now, all the vibe coders know Vercel because it's free, and you can just go into Vercel and be like, this is my website, make it a website. And then they give you like so this is the game. You do storm, and then it happens. You have some skills, you have some things. Now, this game used to be, like I said, it was running on Railway, with the database, with all the things that all the entry vibe coders who think they figured it out. Yeah, no. But then, a couple days ago, I've been bitten by the dedicated server bug. Because somebody told me, I'll show you after your live stream, I'll show you. And Alex showed me. I literally, Discord, we went on Discord, I saw everything, the dedicated server. He told me the one he's using, how he set it up. He did it using vibe coding, basically. And then he convinced me. And then at the time I was like, this is happening, I'm gonna have this. And now I have it. And that's why I've been behind on everything, including building the actual game. Finally, it's built. And I asked Fable over here, I was like, hey, okay, so is this now faster when we make an adjustment to the game, and then I deploy the adjustment to the game? Because I want to build things live. Said yes, it's a lot faster. You're not waiting in a queue, which you would be if you were using providers, whether it's Vercel, Railway, there's another one, Fly. if you're using their services, you're in a queue. You're just not like, you don't get full control, but more importantly, you have to wait, which is not a good thing. Versus if you have a literal box in Singapore, which I have now, which is a computer without a monitor. It's headless, okay? Which is why you have to use like Ubuntu or one of those, I don't know, distros it's called, a distro. We're learning, we're still learning it. But we have it, even though we're still learning it, which I guess is the only way to learn it. You know, F around and find out, basically. Which you'll see why that's a good thing when I start telling you about this chip pretty soon. And we've gotten there, and it's better, and I'm still confused about it. But I won't go way too deep into it moving forward, like in the next couple of days, because I do want to actually use it before I start studying and figuring out exactly what's going on, what the container is, the Docker file, the image or artifact, the Postgres. I have a Postgres. That's one thing you should go deep into from the get-go, because it's basically what Supabase is using to give you a database. And what that means is when someone does like a login, when someone has like a score in your game, when someone has any information that must be there so that the next time they visit the website, they get that information, it's using Postgres. And you can just have it on your own. It's open sourced. And I have it now. So this is next level. Big milestone for me, personally. And yeah. Now finally we can talk about the chip. I was afraid of Linux. But then recently I watched this video about OMARCHY, which is like a new thing. It's a new distro, Linux distro. Ying. Hi. Yeah, I'm going into Linux. And if you don't know this, Linux is running everywhere. Like many things are built on Linux anyway. And so going into Linux doesn't really necessarily mean I'm switching my operating system. It kind of means I'm digging deep into my operating system, if that makes sense. They are different. Mac OS, Windows. What's up? Hey. Hi, Zico. Not much. I'm talking about this chip is what I'm talking about. But I'll get to it. I haven't gotten to it. I want to explain why I have this chip, why this is not a Raspberry Pi, and really how this just kind of worked out. So, in the spirit of around and find out, it was a long time ago, several years ago. I don't want to say the wrong numbers, but I tried mining Bitcoin. Okay. Now, if you can, I don't know if I should cover this or not, but I'm just going to, just in case. You can see a little R, like it says ER. And then you can see the little, because it's an Antminer, the little things over there. So this is basically used for mining Bitcoin. Now this isn't a hash board. The way that these Antminers work is you have like hash boards, which are ASIC, which means like application-specific integrated circuit, if I'm not mistaken. And you have these boards, but then they have to be controlled by like a regular board, which is basically Linux, okay? And it controls it, and then it uses it, and then it sits there and decrypts or encrypts or whatever you want it to do with specifically SHA-256. We'll call it SHA-256 or 256. And I was doing that. Now here's the thing. Here's what happened. I was doing that very early before it became illegal in my country. And then it became illegal, and then I stopped, obviously. So I was doing it when it was very new, and nobody really, like, it wasn't in the attention of, like, the world, or it wasn't the attention of the world, but my world, like in Kuwait. How much did you get from mining? I'll tell you. Not that much, but it was free money constantly, very consistently. And I'll tell you right now. But preface, like I need to preface, I stopped immediately as soon as the law came out saying that it's illegal, which makes sense. I'll explain why it makes sense for it to be illegal, specifically in Kuwait. In other countries, I don't know about you guys, but the way crypto worked when it first came out was we want to get away from fiat because the governments are debasing the currencies. Now, in my case, as a Kuwait citizen, they're not debasing the currency. They're actually, there's a reason why it's the most powerful currency in the world, and it's not because it's just that strong. We're just that strong. We have so much oil. We got lucky. It's below us. Madagascar has a bunch of gold below them. It didn't work out. There's another island, similar thing, where they had a bunch of gold resources. It didn't work out. It's because after realizing that you have this scarce resource, which does obviously factor in, the government decides to spend a lot of energy making sure that the wealth is distributed effectively. And one of those ways is by subsidizing electricity. Now, this is very important. Okay, when you mine Bitcoin in Kuwait, the calculation of how much money you would be making per how much, I guess, not hash you decrypt, but one, I forget what it's called, one solution, like in the decryption process, changes. It's skewed. It's basically subsidized, which means that even when the hash board is an old one that's just not hashing at the rate that you need to be profitable, when it hashes, you still end up making money. Now, I didn't know that at the time. I just thought that if you plug this in, you set it up, and you use a pool, which basically means there's a bunch of people with hash boards coming together, deciding that if we do find that one Bitcoin, that one bit, we split it up, distribute it evenly amongst, all of us who participated in the process based on how much compute we put in. And all of this, by the way, this is the level of understanding you need to have if you want to be able to do it, the level that I just explained, because it's such a setup system that you can just go find a pool. You can just search, I want to participate in a pool. Help me set it up in GPT. I did this before AI, and so I was using Google. I was just searching on Google and actually studying some stuff. But how I had it set up is every week, I was basically making between 7 KD and like 14 KD. It was close to 10 KD most of the time. But sometimes you have like rare situations where it goes as low as like 3. It's a volatile thing. 3 KD. And as high as like close to 20. Like I think once I made 20, I was like, oh my God, 20 just in 1 week. Like, what happened? But here's the thing. I was smart about it. I guess you could say, not so much had I just held all the money. But the way that I set it up, there's a company, I don't know, it's called Rain, and it's a financial institution, we'll call it that. And it's located in Bahrain, which is, it's another country in the GCC. But in the GCC, we have a similar situation as the Europeans, where the European countries and the citizens of the European countries can kind of freely trade with each other, and they can kind of, they just let each other go around. We have the same thing. Like, I can take my ID, my civil ID, go to the airport, say I'm going to Dubai, for example, the UAE. I don't need my passport. I can just be like, here's my ID. And then they just let me go, right? We have that relationship. And that relationship extends to the financial institutions as well. And so in my country, even though the banks weren't okay with crypto because they were unsure about it, sometimes at the time, this is really early, before it became illegal, sometimes they're okay with it, sometimes they're not. I decided I wanted like a sustainable system where they're just like the money keeps coming in. I signed up with Rain, which the Bahraini central bank is connected with the Kuwaiti central bank somehow. There's just some sort of connection, and so money transfers quickly and easily, no problem. And so the pool basically that I'm in, we mine together as a collective. We discover Bitcoin. I get my allocation of how much we discovered. Okay. It goes over there to Bahrain, gets sent to the central bank, and then from the central bank of Bahrain to the Kuwait central bank, and then from the Kuwait Central Bank to my personal bank, and then from my personal bank, obviously, to my account. And so basically, effectively, it was free money for me. I was just there. I was just look at my phone. Oh, the week came to an end, and I had a little bit of a bonus. Now, I told you like 7 to 14 KD. Now 10 KD is about $32, right? So it's not much. Like I wasn't breaking ground here. It's like $32 a week. It's just nice that I was able to set it up, and I was very curious. I was very interested in that field. I was studying economics in university. This is the first thing I did when I came back from university, because when I was in Canada, with a student visa, you can't do anything. They don't let you work. They don't let you do anything. You're just there to give them money and study, right? They want to preserve the jobs for non-students, I guess, non-foreign students. And so I came back to Kuwait with a vengeance. I was like, I want to do something, okay? And I did that. And then soon after, it became illegal. And now I'll tell you why it's illegal. I think I might have said this, but I'll say it really quickly. The government subsidizes electricity. Like I said, yeah, I did the calculation. So I stopped. As soon as it became illegal, obviously, I stopped. And if you're curious about, does this apply to me? Probably not. Like, it depends on your currency. But I have all those ant miners, and now finally we can get to where the chips come in. And I've been every couple months. It's just I'm curious, like, what can I use these ant miners for that is not illegal? Because it's just PCBs. It's just chips. And I've never been able to come up with something that makes sense. And now finally I have. I'm going to use them for experimentation with Linux, like full Linux. I can, without potentially bricking things that I really care about or need, I can just do it on these Raspberry Pi equivalents, basically. And if they break, whatever, like they're useless anyway, because I can't use them for anything because I want to remain, legal. So this chip is a beautiful chip because, as you can see here, it comes packed with not one, but two satisfyingly clickable buttons. Okay, it's fun to click. I remember setting it up the first time. It was very fun to click. There's an SD card holder that you can probably put like an OS in, like a Linux, and then run it. If not, there's this LAN thing, like Ethernet. And this Ethernet, I'm pretty sure I can also play with a lot. You can do a whole lot of stuff with these little things. Yeah. I watched so many videos, but I was always intimidated to try it on my own. But now we have Fable. Fable can do things for me. I watched so many videos of people playing with these sorts of chips, the Raspberry Pi, and using them for all sorts of crazy experiments, like so many things you can do. And I basically have a bunch of them because I've stripped down these ant miners and pulled it out. I had a little like screwdriver, opened up the ant miner, right? Pull out the boards. The first time that I did that was a really long time ago because I bought the ant miners used and they were left like outside and they were very dusty. And so I did this before. Like, it's not like I've never used a screwdriver. I did this before and I cleaned them, every single chip, one by one. And a friend of mine was involved also. Like, he's the one who helped with all these sorts of things. But I did most of the cleaning, to be fair. And he showed me a lot of the setup. But long story short, yeah, now I have a bunch of these chips, and I'm gonna play with them, and I don't even care if they break. You have a couple. You can build a rig to run local models, free tokens. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I wonder how far I can push this thing. Now, I've already like checked to see like what are the sorts of what are the sorts of I'll show you. Wait, I've showed this before, but I'll show you again. I don't think you've seen this, Ying. All right. So I got this, and it's just it's running Linux. I opened this as well because when you have a screwdriver, it's very tempting to use the screwdriver. So I opened this. I wanted to see what's inside. I want to see like how does this work, and it's kind of the same thing. There's just a chip inside that can be used for specific things, but this chip doesn't have like a LAN port. It's called LAN port, right? It's an Ethernet thing. You get the point. This thing. This has like an OTG, which is USB-C, which can be used for many things, which is nice. But this one has LAN, which means that maybe I can figure out a way to connect it to another one of it, if that makes sense. And then we can like do a cluster. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I've this is my entry into this world. I don't even know if it will work. But that was my story that I wanted to share about my experience with mining Bitcoin, and then stopping because it's illegal. I'm legal. I haven't done anything wrong. You know, you just go with the flow, right? And here's the whole reason for it. Where's the reason for it? Here. The whole reason for it. Discovering just how easy it actually was to set up my server. Now I already have like a bunch of the websites that I've worked on. So many websites. Some of them aren't even good. Like I literally don't want to share them because it's just experimentation, right? The only website that I have not moved is buyabigboat.com. And the reason I have not moved it is because I just need confirmation that I didn't do anything wrong. And the only way to get confirmation is time. So I'll leave this for like a month, 2 months. And if nothing goes wrong, nobody hacks me, nobody does anything, or I don't accidentally mess everything up, then I'll move that one as well. The buyabigboat.com website is the one that I'm registered with, okay? Because they ask you when you register for your license, which my permit is literally for programming. Like I have a permit to deploy programs specifically, برمجيات, like the programmable things. And they want only one. Even if you have many, they just need one, and it's the main one that they check if you get money from it. Okay, and that one is fully set up, like within the banking system as well. They give you like the API when you go to the bank. They give you the credentials, the tokens, everything. The payment system, the gateway, all of it is fully set up. It's secure. I've even paid the programmer who knows what's going on to check. That's an important thing as well. So I don't want to touch it. That one has to remain existent, perfectly everything. And then eventually, once I'm comfortable enough to know everything that's going on here, then maybe I'll switch. Probably I'll switch. Most definitely I'll switch because this is mine now. I don't have to pay Supabase or Vercel. You know, I don't have to pay anyone. And when I add websites, this is the best part about having your own server, dedicated server, not even a shared server. This is the best part about owning your own thing. When you decide, you know what, I want to make a new website. I wanna have the URL like www dot whatever the website is .com, and I want it live now, like today, right here. I don't have to sign up or sign in. I mean, log into Supabase, click around, do a bunch of everything, get permissions, and then find out I need to pay more because there's a limit to how many websites I can have. Both Supabase and Vercel. Set up the organization, basically go through their entire system of just like user-facing stuff I can just tell Fable. That's it. The website goes live, and this is just so powerful. It's so liberating. I don't know. I've watched this one video of one guy saying this, like that he switched to, I think, to Coolify, and having his dedicated server, or I think he did localhost. He didn't even get a server. He just went to localhost, and he said that word. He's like, so liberating. I remember watching that video and thinking, what's liberating? Ooh, like you're just doing a bunch of extra work, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, super basics this, and now. I take that back. I take that back. I've gotten to the level where it actually matters, like to me. Like I'm feeling like maybe super base isn't the way to go. Maybe. So yeah, sorry to all the noob vibe coders. I'm no longer a noob. You're a newbie to me. I've joined the dark side. I'm one of the haters now. I'm on I'm on the side of the programmers who doesn't like you. Jokes. You can start with Superbase and Vercel, and it's a perfect place to start because it's just you click buttons and do things. But this is the end goal. It's like actual ownership of the data, control, and most importantly, learning. Like you're doing all this to learn, not just to delegate everything to Fable. And yeah, so that's something I'm very excited about. I wonder if these two lights. By the way, if you're in the chat, like, let me know what you think. Let me know also if you have any experiences. And like I put in the description, let me know if there's some key terms that I should know that I can put into Fable here and study them. Because this is how all this started. You, the chat, you would specifically Alex, he was like, okay, I'll show you. And then he showed me. And then he basically infected me with this bug. Like now I went into it and I was like, the dedicated server is such a good idea. I can have my own box. And he sold it to me. I don't know if he was trying specifically to sell it to me, but he told me, and I said this before, verbatim, he was like, listen. Because I was asking dumb questions. He was like, look, did you watch Silicon Valley? Like, yeah, what does Silicon Valley have to do with this? He was like, do you remember that episode with the box? That guy, that's the CEO guy that nobody likes, the box. I'm like, yeah, I know the box. He's like, that's what I'm talking about. The box. I'm like, whoa. You're right, I do want the box. I don't use Linux. Only my ops run on Ubuntu. Your ops? What's ops? Oh, VPS. I think VPS, not VPS, VM, virtual machine. It's different than dedicated server, but I don't know why. That's a perfect question to ask right now, actually. You put me on a thought. You put me on a nice thought. I'm gonna ask Fable here. What's the difference between these three? VPS, VM, dedicated server. Which one do I have? Note. Oh, note. Exclude my MT5 VPS. The reason I say that is because I have money using MQL5. It's like a trading MT5. It's like a trading thing, and there's a button VPS, and you just run a you run a VPS VP. Yeah, it's easy. It's a quick config thing where it just runs when you have an algorithm, and you can close your computer because it's another computer, but it's not fully yours. Just a little bit of compute that they give you. Wait, you literally bought the server lifetime access or like month subscription? Month. My bad. That's my bad. I'm renting it. I'm renting the server. It's one bill. I pay that once a month. And let me just show you like the actual specs, because Fablé knows my specs. And it's $89, I think, a month. It's a good server. Like, it's a good computer that I have. User DD1DX2ME4W. I run my 24/7 Hermes agents on the VPS. You know what I really want to do? I watched a video yesterday, literally yesterday. This is my. I didn't get into the first thing I really want to do with this. This is my goal now that I understand that dedicated servers exist and they can just be your box. Okay, if I achieve this, that's it. I win. And I don't know if I can do it with this chip, but I know I can start with this chip to learn things. I want to have a cyber deck, which basically means a fully custom computer that you basically built from scratch. Which, if you don't know what a cyber deck is, it comes from like the cyber punk kind of theme, which of the future, where everything is teched out and it's just a vibe. Okay, I want to have a cyber deck that is just a really bad, just for the vibe, a really bad, old, used, purposeless chip. But then use it and then just get stupid high performance. Like the kind of performance that just is not sensible. And then just have people be like, how? What is all you need is an internet connection if you have a dedicated server somewhere else. And money to pay for that for that machine. I have it in Singapore right now. And if I can achieve this and just have this little thing, right, to do crazy stuff with, I want to blow minds, That's my goal. That's my goal. I just want to play like that. What link? What do you mean by link? Like what service? OVH. Sounds nice. I'm more a software than a hardware guy, but lately I also get more interested in hardware stuff. Same. Honestly, I got interested in software when Opus 4.6, a little earlier. No. When anti-gravity, it was Opus 4.6 on anti-gravity, because I realized the possibility and I was like, okay, this is amazing. Like, it's gotten to the point where if you're just creative enough and you're not that skilled, you can build a really nice CRUD app. And that was my thought, is you build a CRUD app, just something localhost, whatever, and then you go hire a professional who can turn it into more than just a CRUD app. So my mindset at the time was, I'm just going to get really good at building these CRUD apps, creative little tools that are very useful locally. And then if I do build something that I believe in, I go get somebody who knows what they're doing to make it into a real program. And now I've gotten to the point where I'm making it into a real program. I wasn't even thinking about hardware. But then I'm realizing now, from all the stuff that I'm learning, hardware is very achievable. It's very achievable at this stage. All right, let's actually check this out. We've got some terms here. VM, virtual machine. VPS, virtual private server. Okay, and then the dedicated server, your own house. So the analogy is a room inside a building is what a virtual machine is. A VPS is a rented apartment. That's the smallest thing. It's just a little bit of space. And it says a VM that a hosting company rents you, a shared building, one physical machine. So you do get a machine. What's the difference then if you're just getting your own machine? Your own locked door, neighbors can hog the elevator. I think I know what this means. This means like you don't get a literal box that has its own CPU, its own like little GPU unit, its own drives and everything. Maybe you get like one drive, like your own little machine, but then CPU is shared when it's a VPS. Maybe, I don't know. So, I'm developing, like, since 2022, started a bit before AI. That's way before AI became useful. 2022 means like you're basically, I think there's a term like, or actually 2020. I think it's a term. It's like salient coder or salient program. Either way, it's like when you had to manually do things, use the shell commands. Now, I guess for people who are familiar with the shell, when you tell LLM, like, do this thing, which you know is just a command, like npm or whatever the ones in the command prompt, then for you, it's like, this is such a waste. This is so stupid. Like, why would you even do that? It's literally a 2-line thing. Like, so now I kind of get it. I've gotten that far. You get a room, but all processing is shared. Yes, it is the units. I call them the U's. The reason I call them the U's is because if you think about it, there's going to be all sorts of new U's. It started with, I don't know if it started technically, but you got the CPU, and then you got the GPU. And those are the main two right now. Those are the U's. Okay, RAM, it's not a unit, even though as I look at it over here, because I have it over here, it is kind of a unit. Like you got 4 of those units. But never mind, it's not a unit. But then now, if you look at the U's, there's NPU. That's what on the iPhone, what does the autocorrect? Like when you do autocorrect, it's like extrapolation, right? Because that's what it is, the NPU. But then Google comes in with the TPU, the tensor processing unit. The tensor processing unit. We've gotten to 4 U's so far. 4 U's. Okay? There's going to be all sorts of U's in the future. I'm telling you. I have to go for now. Maybe till later. No worries, Yin. You do your thing. But thank you for coming anyway. And stopping by for a bit. All these U's are gonna be actually I had a point. I forgot the point. All right, let's go back to this. I still want to understand the exact difference. All right, so I kind of already know what I need to know in terms of making decisions. That's why I like analogies. And in terms of making decisions for, like I said, the spirit of F around and find out. But I still want to know. Yo, Mimgyan. Yo. Check. This is. We'll go back to it later. I want to talk to you about what you built. The different views. You said there's 4 views. But let me just quickly read this. I'll read it back later in more detail. I just want to have a bit of an idea the difference between VM, VPS, and dedicated server. Software simulated computer running on top of a real one. This is basically like a program. This is basically like a little bit of a just a little program inside of a computer. It can be whatever size you want it to be because it's a program. And I have this happening. I just want to make sure that I'm right. Does the arena still basically do VM for me? I'm pretty sure this is something I've done. Now, for anyone who wasn't there when I said this, Arena is just the optimal way for me to download whatever I want without being afraid. Yes, literally, Arena drives a real VM, Hyper-V, named Arena, running on your PC. I get it. And I had to choose between Hyper-VM and Sandbox, or Windows Sandbox and Hyper-VM, both. Hyper-V I think it's only called Hyper-V. Both VMs, question mark. You gotta have the question mark. If you don't have the question mark, I don't know what to tell you. Like, maybe this vibe coding thing isn't for you. Yes, both. Hyper-V is the hypervision, the engine that creates VMs. Arena is one VM it runs. Windows Sandbox is a product built on Hyper-V. I didn't know that. It's a rental car that self-destructs when you hand back the keys. Interesting. Okay, I understand the first one. I understand what VM is already, and this just confirmed it. Okay, VPS. A VPS, that is a hosting company, rents you shared. It's like a shared server. VPS is basically a shared server, right? Like a dedicated server, but the owner, the actual owner of the box, splits it based on usage, controls throttle, and what's another thing like throttle? Stuff and other things like throttle. That's how you do things. I spelled throttle correctly the first time. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm gonna look. Alright. I don't know why it was wrong. I can't be spelling things wrong when I have a game about typing. That's just not acceptable, you know? It's not okay. That is a nice thing. I have virus on my PC, I think, because too much npm installs. Yeah. Hyper-V is like the technology that helps to do virtualization. I think you know things. User DD1DX2ME4W. I think you know things. Because that made no sense to me. And every time somebody leaves a chat that makes no sense to me, it does what I said at the beginning of this stream, which is it takes me on a tangent and then causes me to abandon all my projects to learn something new. Can you also rent me a space in your dedicated server? Maybe we can talk. Hyper-V is like the technology. I need to ask that as a question. Big brain. Whoa, you just gave me another idea. What if I... Oh my god. If I rent a server, a dedicated server, it's mine. I can do whatever I want with it, including renting it out to other people. Full business model. Full. Look, I know it's not vertical integration, okay? But I've heard podcasts where they say vertical integration, so just let me have it right now. Full vertical integration. Like, this is this opens up some doors, you know? I see it has good specs, bro. Wait, because you saw it from oh yeah, I forgot to ask about the specs. Let me ask. What are the specs of my Singapore VPS? I also want to know how much I'm using. Yeah, I think we can move on from this. And Meme Gianna, haven't forgotten. I really like that video that you made, and Okay, we did this, we did this. Virtualization, that's the thing I'm forgetting. I don't want to forget it, so I'm going to type it here and then Hyper-V, Hyper-V is like the technology that helps do virtualization. Explain with no tech jargon, use analogy, then use tech jargon separately. So I know how to use it. And then I'm gonna go around and use it on people. People say things like what is the purpose of this thing? And then I just say a bunch of gibberish to them, like, Of course, I need the glasses on as I do it. Let's do business from OVH, yeah. There's like 2 types of Hyper-V. Okay. All right, so these are the specs, just so you know. They are pretty good. Six cores, 12 threads. You got the RAM is 32. Storage to 500. Here's the thing about this. This is RAID. So yesterday I found out that 2 512 gigabyte SSDs SSDs doesn't mean you have a terabyte. You can probably, because it's yours, you can do whatever you want with it. But the way that it's configured is you have 512 gigabytes, and then you have a second one that literally mirrors. It's the exact as the first one. It's the same thing. They just mirror. They just do the same thing. And then the reason they do that is in case something happens, like a genuine hardware failure. Something happens to the first one, you have the second one. And it's just a little way to protect all the data. It's called RAID, and I have it now. I have it now. I can't wait. I can't wait for when somebody comes in, chat in the future, because it happens, you know. And like the vibe coders, man, these vibe coders, and I'd be like, I have RAID, and the reason is because of I really like this YouTuber. Literally forgot his name because I just let YouTube play. Sometimes I don't see the names, but he's a really, he goes on rants. He has like 1.1 million subscribers. He's a hardware guy. He goes on crazy rants, and he was talking about RAID, and he explained it very easily, and the reason specifically why you want to use hard drives HDD instead of SDD, and why, even though HDD hard drives are slower, you still want to use them versus SSD because they're just more durable, they're sustainable, they last longer. And when it comes to reading and writing, you can read and write onto it constantly, right? And it's fine, you know, versus an SSD, which not entirely sure exactly why, but it can break, which contradicts something else I learned, which is that the SSDs, like for example, if you take a hard drive and an HDD, you put stuff in it and you leave it for a decade, it's fine. It's fine. It's basically as if it's burned into there. You do that to an SSD, okay? The chips, I don't have one here, even though I probably should. I have one in here. You do that to an SSD, there's like charges inside of them, the chip, okay? And you leave it for a couple of years, the charge over time just disappears. Kind of disperses, I guess, into the air. I don't know what happens to the charge, but electricity is a moving thing. It just keeps moving, and so it moves out, and then you lose your data. It's corrupted, which is why you need HDD. But in the case of having a server with a bunch of stuff, you have a constant charge anyway. Electricity is constantly moving. So why does the SSD degrade over time? This doesn't make sense to me. This does not make any sense to me. Is there a way to secure the Vibe coded website from hackers, and how to see like what are the security issues on the website? Is there a way? That's a very good question. And what I need to do to answer that question is go to you're gonna love this. Go to this, not this page. Go to this page. Almost. No, not this one. This is the one. This is the one. I can't show you because there's like sensitive information, but as soon as I actually find it, turns out this is the one. It'll make perfect sense. No. There's a word called, it's like inbound. Sorry, but I think it'll be worth it. Because SSD gets heated. I think in heat, it does degrade many things. Actually does kind of make sense, but both of them get heated, no? This is why I need to use Nexa. I just keep losing things in my chats. I just keep losing everything in the chat. And then it's just gone. Oh, I found it. I found it. This is what I want to show you. This is funny. So to answer your question, Mimi, I'm gonna use this from this prompt over here. I said, okay, now help me defend myself. When a hater comes into my YouTube and tells me that I don't know anything about system architecture by giving me a few short lines, talking points. So give me the talking points, basically, about the current system. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, a lot of people who know things had a hand in the system. I didn't just say, do a system, give me amazingness and go. No, I had somebody who did the whole system give me terms, and I wrote the terms down. I write everything down. And when you write everything down, you can do it properly. Hey, new to your stream, what are you building? I'm kind of learning right now about system architecture. I set up a dedicated server. So if I don't know what level you're on, but to make a really long story short, there's Vercel and Supabase, which everyone goes straight into because it's free, and it's a very, very cheap experiment. Literally free, and you have a website deployed. But also you can just kind of rent your own box in Singapore and then have full control. And then instead of being limited by having like 2 websites in total, you can just have as many websites in total as you want constantly, so long as it can all be run on one server. In other words, one computer that you're basically renting. And now we have Meme Gyan over here asking me a question, a pertinent question to the safety and security that Supabase and Vercel automatically provide, but it's not automatically provided on your own computer when you set up your own computer. So we need to have this if we're going to set up our own computer and protect all the data that we're going to ask people to give us. And so, in addition to protecting all of the data that people give us, I need to also protect myself from the YouTube comments of the meme gyans asking me important questions like, is there a way to secure the Vibe coded website from hackers, and how to see like what are the security issues on the website? Is there a way? Is there a way? I'll tell you what the way is now. Tool or something to check security issues. The answer is Kuma, and this like custom built thing, status. Wait, I have the answer here somewhere. Hold on. I was like, okay, since I also genuinely want to learn, I need you to also define each term that I used. I was like, respond in two parts. Part one is just give me the talking points. Just give me the that I can say. And I was like, end them all with if you know, you know. I'm telling you, when the passive aggressive person shows up and says something, I'm gonna passive aggressive them back. And you can still have dedicated and still use Cloudflare. Yes. Wait. Oh no, that has nothing to do with security. You're just asking a question. Okay. I thought it had something to do with the security. I'll show you Kuma, Mimi Gyan. I'll show you Kuma because Kuma is how I know if something is down or if something happened. It's like a logging thing. It fires every 60 minutes. It's a free, I think it's an open source software. Or no, it's not open source software because I signed with the username and password. And then it gives me a status to show me what's live and what's not and what's going on. But also it gives me an alert. So if something actually happens, I just get an email and I know that something happened. I don't know what the limitations are, to be honest. I don't know exactly what it is giving me and not giving me that I need, but we're still learning. I typed Kuma that you told, and Google shows me one piece Bartholomew Kuma. That's because Kuma's probably not a lot of people know about it. All right. This is Kuma. And you can see that I have like 7 up like websites. And it shows me over here the like 100. Like it shows me like 100%. It's kind of like, you know when when there's like status reports by these companies, like if you've had any if you've used any LLM like from any provider, they show you status on their website. This is a status page basically on my server. But this is a custom kind of status page, and there's a button here because it gives me more details than Kuma. And I made it. I just told not Jippity. I told Fable, like Fable, you know, I want to know more. And so if I click this button, then I can see everything, and I can see all these details and numbers, and so that's really what I'm using to know things. But I still want to give you my defend myself response. Hold on, let me choose one because there's several that I can choose from. And there's actually a lot of terms that I found that are really useful. Like these are good terms to keep in mind. Like RAID, for example. Why was I able to explain exactly how RAID works? And then when I looked at it, I knew immediately that 2x 512 the way that because RAID, right? So this is the thing. You're learning system architecture. You're not just clicking everything to see what's going on. That being said, Mimi Gyan, I want you to know that I run my whole estate on a single bare metal box in Singapore behind a Cloudflare tunnel with 0 inbound ports. 0 inbound ports. If you know, you know. Yeah. I've been waiting for this moment since yesterday because I spent all day like setting everything up, And then at the end, I was like, what is going on? And I just wanted to be able to say that this is what I have. You talk big brain now. Yeah. My brain is going to keep getting bigger. Bigger and bigger. Over time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot the thing that you sent, the 3D. It looks so nice. Let me open the Discord. How did you do it? Like what, you said you use Grok many times. I've never used Grok for these sorts of things. Use Claude or CLI. I'm using Claude Code, the desktop app, not the CLI. I want to switch to an ADE called Nexa that is built by a vibe coder. His name's Reza Nexa. He's also live streaming, and he's doing his best to build it. And Mim Gyan over here is a moderator on his stream as well, and it looks really nice. It's not there yet for me because I want kind of more control of the rules. Where's Nexa? Here. My demands are very high. Like, I'll be honest with you. And my experience when it comes to learning things is you got to choose the nice experience to learn the things sustainably. I learned guitar. You know how I learned guitar? I chose an electric guitar instead of an acoustic guitar, even though I didn't have the money to get an amplifier. I chose the electric guitar because it looked cooler. It wasn't making much noise or sound. Well, noise at the time. But also it was it's metal strings, you know, which is not ideal if you're just picking up the guitar. Like, there's different strings. I just chose the one that looked cool, and then holding it, I felt cool, and then I kept learning. This is a long time ago. I was a child, basically. But because of that UX of the guitar, I stuck to it. It was nice. It was fun. And then I kept getting better over time. Nexa has that fun. Situation to it, that element. And it looks like this. It's just beautiful. But most importantly, in addition to the fact that you have a bunch of controls, like you can do things. Like you can change how glassmorphic it is or not. You can do all these things. You can have multiple chats that are not a swarm, which is very important for me. I get it. It's fun to have Jarvis from Tony Stark level. Everything is everywhere. Everything's working together. But I don't want it to all work together. But I want to see it all, and I want it all to look cool as I see it all. That's all I want. Nexa is the one that's doing this. But so I want to switch to Nexa, but it's not there yet. But the nice thing is that you can tell the developer, because he's very open to criticism. He wants it. He's genuinely trying. So to answer your question, do you use Cloud Code CLI? I'm not using the CLI. No, I'm just using the desktop app. I have a bunch of skills. A lot of things are automated. And a lot of commands. Like I made some commands as well, not just skills. Which is basically like, if you make a bunch of commands, it's like, it's sometimes feels when you're typing like CLI. Some things are deterministic, if you know what I mean. What I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I have an iterative workflow. That's why this is so nice for me. Like if I'm able to not have everything be connected all the time, and then set it up like this, where I have this over here, I have another one over here, you know, and I also have. I used to have a background on my desktop that I changed it, but there used to be like boxes. Like imagine on the background here, like a box, like a big box, and then I drag things into the boxes. And it's just nice. And the fact that you can change the background over here, like you can just go to the appearance, and then adjust the background, choose whatever you want, gives me that within an ADE. He's the only one doing this. This is not the up-to-date version. He's working on it. He made little changes, little fixes that I complained about, by the way. Like clicking this X button always opens up like this. But it's like I clicked the X, just close it. I said that as a complaint, and then he changed it. And so the new version that comes out is going to actually have an X button like this. And then also, like this, when you go to it, like it moves around a lot. Like if I go to this, I want to go to the plus button. The plus button moved to the right. Now I have to go to the right. So it's like every time I want to click it, I go like this. I could just always know to come in like this and then click it. I think that was his intention. But for me personally, like I was thinking too much movement isn't nice. Like even this over here, like all these things move. I was like, can you make it a little more stable? And he did. And that's another reason of why I really want to use this. Because if you have a connection with the developer, because the developer is like that, they let you have a connection. You know what I mean? They're not hiding. They're just open. Then you know it's going to be a good program that they're building, whatever it is. It becomes a matter of time. You know? And so it's a matter of time. That's why I want to use Nexa. Grok just stole your game by scripting it, and it told it to add 4 views. The last one should be FPV. Ah, that's how you did it. For user DD1DX2ME4W, what he's talking about is this. So he took my site. So I have a website, which is a game, keywords.io, and it's not 3D in any way. Okay. I think you saw it. I think I might have shown in the beginning of the stream. But he went and he replicated the whole thing. Discord. Oh yeah, I should share my Discord. But yeah, look at this. That's crazy. That's so 3D, and it's. I saw this, and the immediate thought for me personally, immediately, marketing. Like, imagine this with audio and intensity, and things keep moving around. Yeah, that was my first thought, and then my second thought was like, if you were able to build that really quickly like that, maybe I should make the game much more complicated. All right, it's pinned as of now. As of now, I haven't been able to beat my own levels, like on in the game, the Keywords game. Join the Discord, by the way. I pinned the Discord in the chat. What the community is all about. I'll just give you a little breakdown, really quick. The community is just a place where we can actually share our work. That's what seems to be what it's being used for. But keep in mind, like, I don't want this community to be one of those places where it's like you have so many rules and you're constricted. You can't do this. You can't say that. You know, you just be nice, be inclusive. You know, if somebody puts out their work and you attack their work, fine. That's good. That's criticism, constructive criticism, even if it's subjective. Like what I did with Reza's application. I was giving him a lot of subjective stuff. I was attacking Nexa, which is what he made, but I would never attack him. As a matter of fact, I like the fact that he's willing to absorb, you can say, that damage, because it just makes you strong, makes you robust. And so in this community, you can be critical. You can be overly critical even. And I'm not going to put rules, do this, do that. And you can't say this, you can't say that. There's just one rule, what I say go, what I say goes. And number two, I think, is be nice. And so yeah, that's how I have that set up, the Discord. So join the community if you want that open space, a place that is an open space, actually. I feel like you let me know. I feel like I'm gonna have to walk that back because I've done a community before for skating, and I was like that. I was like, let's be inclusive. It's okay, everyone's smart. We're not gonna have problems. And then like people just without rules, chaos, anarchy, and then all of a sudden, like people leave because they're uncomfortable. This time, I'm not gonna add rules from the beginning and stuff. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Yo, Prime. Not much, not much. I went on a whole rant about this chip earlier, which I'm gonna use to get into Nexa to get into Linux. See this chip? This is a really old chip, which it comes jam-packed with not one, not two clickable buttons, because I'm not talking about the buttons, but two LEDs. See those LEDs? Thought I was gonna say buttons again, didn't you? Two LEDs, a green one and a red one. Which means that even if I have a headless server, I think that's what it's called. Basically, I run Ubuntu or whatever I run here, you know, OMARCHY, because I really want to try that and see what that's all about. I can still have some visual feedback, you know, with these two LEDs. I believe that these LEDs here that are on the LAN, like the Ethernet thing, like yellow and green, are non-controllable. I don't think they're like that. This is an LED, right? Like, because obviously it's not like the LEDs that are on TV that change whatever color you want them to change into. Yeah, this is an LED. It's just one giant pixel. Or I guess if you think about it, pixel. No, a pixel. Wait, does a pixel have multiple colors? Oh, yeah, okay. When it comes to LEDs, does pixel refer to a combination of literal LEDs, like 4 of them? Come on, do we have an LED or do we not? Tell me we have an LED here. Short or a pixel. Short answer, a pixel is usually 3 LEDs, red, green, blue. Damn it. We almost made the cut. Almost made the cut. This was almost an LED. Unfortunately, or a pixel, a pixel. Unfortunately, it's not. But it's okay. It's okay. You know, you have cards in life. You play your cards. Yeah. Anyway, back to Meme Gyan and what he built. There's so many directions that you can go with it. Actually, what I want to do is run the game a bit so that everyone can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is what the game actually looks like. You guys want to join the lobby? Live stream. Create a lobby. I'll start in 1 minute. We can make it 2 maybe. You will be dropping Wait, hold on, let me type this. Keyboards.io lobby live stream. Yeah, live stream. For anyone who's in the chat, who's more just lurking, it's fine. You can join. You don't have to. If you don't feel like typing, you can just play it and leave whenever you want. Away from it as I read what Mimgyan is saying here about Arduino. You will be doping Arduino stuff. That is nice. You can make it interface or normally install Linux. I think you meant doing, right? Like doing Arduino stuff. Yeah. What I want to do really is try this thing called OMARCHY. I don't know if I'm gonna go with OMARCHY. I don't know if it's the thing to go with or go for. But I know that it looks cool, and it's the first one that I was exposed to of a Linux designed specifically for AI. Because this is what I'm thinking in my mind. Like, imagine, okay, you have an operating system from the kernel level, like full OS, specifically designed so that Fable can control it however you want. And now you might be thinking, that's a dumb idea. That's a dumb idea. Then Anthropic is gonna have like all your information and everything. Maybe we get to the point where it is actually an open source. It is the situation where the LLMs that are open source can do a good enough job, like Fable, of doing everything you want it to do, deterministically enough. They're always going to hallucinate. There's always going to be that issue. But what if it's set up in a way, and you can be creative with this, where the navigation on your operating system is primarily driven by AI? Everything from the bottom up. I think this will be the future. Like whether we have it in a year or two, or whether we have it in like a 10 or 20 years. It's gonna be the future. Like the operating systems of today are not designed for AI. That's why Google had to do Gemini. Imagine Google search remains, and it was just Google search, and it didn't have any Gemini, any AI features and stuff with it. With the people wouldn't use Google. Why would you use Google search, the old one? You know what I mean? They had to adapt. Operating systems now have to adapt. It's just it takes a lot more for a whole operating system than from like a search engine website. So it's happening. OMARCHY is like the first. It's like it's designed to basically be AI. Nexa, I'm telling you, I'm gonna push Reza to do this. Nexa has to be one of those. That's a long-term goal. It's too far in the future. I know, it's too much. But it's the trajectory, and he has already built a lot of that stuff. It's basically an OS. It's basically an OS. Look at it. You have browser, you have everything. It's ridiculous. Where's the browser feature? I don't even know. But it's basically an operating system that's AI. Imagine all this, okay? But then you can just, like here with the commander, like you click this, it opens this thing at the bottom. You just say something, and he already built this. You go in here and you do whatever, and then it just goes and controls all of the everything for you. Now imagine all of the everything is literally your entire OS. GG, it's done. People literally have actual alternatives. What are you building? Oh, Avocado actually joined. Been here. Kitsor Miom Guadi 732. I'm building this game that we're gonna play as soon as Avocado clicks ready. Mostly we're just talking. Like I'm just talking about all the things that I've learned, and also the experiences that I've had. I was talking about this chip, but this is what I'm building right now. I'm building this game. This is my primary build. Quest, Talon, Berry, Oath, I'm thinking avocado isn't. Oh, avocado started typing. Blade. And so yeah, this is the game right now that I'm building. We're on level 2, and you can see that there's like a competition basically of who can type more. I'm orange. He's like peach colored. Is this chip a Raspberry Pi? No, but it's basically the same thing. It's basically, honestly, it even could be. It's an Antminer chip. It's like it used to be like a mining. It's not a hash board. So with mining Bitcoin, there's two types of chips that kind of come together. You have the hash boards, which are the ones that actually do the mining. One second. Look, avocado, I'm gonna revive you. Okay, I'm gonna revive you, but here, I revived you. I gave you one of my hearts. This is self-sacrifice. Keep in mind, like, this is a lot. So I need you to get it together. I need you to get it together. I revived you. I gave you one of my hearts, literally. If you do /heart. Where have you gone? I revived you. Come on, don't let us down. Cool game, thank you. Don't let us down. You know, you're kind of letting us down. You're not typing fast enough for the both of us. As I just don't do anything. Avocado, it's important that I'm like, don't be heavy, okay? I need to carry you. He doesn't know about the skills. Look, you see these skills, avocado. I don't know if you can do both, but in the bottom left, there's skills. If you do / and then type this thing, it will do a thing. Okay? And so, for example, if I do / avocado, what happened? What happened? Did the pressure get to you? He's the only one who tried the game. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, the pressure got to me. That's what I get. Because I have the skills. He did all the work. He did all the work. I was like, come on. Now you know the game. And you can join, by the way. It's free. I don't ask for email yet because I'm still building it. I'm still trying to set everything up. And there's literally like, it's gonna change, okay? There's some skills here. Hold on, just before I read the comments. There's these trinkets. And these trinkets, if you have them as your loadout, you can use them. Okay. And if you have others that you can't use, you know, because you can only use 3 at a time, they just stack up here, and you can trade them. Like I can put this up here in the table area, and then avocado, if he's still there, can drag one of his items, throw it on top of the one that I have, and then trade with me. And each skill has its abilities. There's an active and a passive. So it gets complicated. This is not a typing learning game. I did see, I think I saw you say something about kids game. Where's the, because it would be, like if it was typing, let me see what you actually said. What are you building? What else have you built? Who said kids game? I'm pretty sure. Anyway. What else have you built through vibe coding so far? Oh my, here it is, kids game. Yeah, it actually could be a nice game for learning typing for kids, but there's so many of those games that just type. You know, it's all about speed. this is meant to be also about strategy. In other words, with this game, you actually have these skills, you choose, you build a team. It's actually fun. So yes, on some level, it does, like if you're a kid and you're playing, give you a very valuable skill, like typing quickly and thinking quickly, and spelling correctly. But it's fun. It's actually fun. I'm not building this game with the mindset of, all right, we're gonna make this so that typing is a thing to learn. I'm building it with the mindset of, this is something I want to compete, like with my friends in. Like we can go on hordes or adventures where there's hordes. You know what I mean? You know what I mean if you've played a game. What else have you built through vibe coding so far? Many things. I built buyabigbot.com, which is a website for trading. Like it's a wrapper. Like use Fable, and then it just like an assistant. Rocket Chimp is what it's called. It's like an assistant, and there's some nice tool calls in there that I think I'm the only one who has in a wrapper, like Rocket Chimp. Buyabigbot.com. You can draw a line on the chart, and then the AI can see it fully. And there's a knowledge base, so it's already fully trained, you could say. Not trained, but it has like an encyclopedia that it can draw stuff in from to give you fully accurate information. There's like a parser feature, so specifically for MQL5. This, I know I'm going a little deep into the trading thing, but specifically for the MT5 trading, you can take out the file, drop it into the website, and then it automatically recreates like the chart, the equity curve and everything. Doesn't use AI for that. It just does everything for free very nicely, so that when you ask Rocket Chimp the AI about it, he has all the information he needs immediately. Originally it was intended to be a programmer tool. Like if you want to program your own algorithm, create your own algo, trading bot, you use it. But then MQL5, MetaQuotes, I should say, the company, did something wonderful. They built the MCP. They built the MCP, which destroys my idea. So now it's just an assistant. It was the best coding solution for a very, very short period of time, and I looked online. I was looking for anyone who could do it, and as somebody who made a bunch of algorithms, also hundreds, over 100 probably, not hundreds. Like it was, I'm telling you, it was really good. But then MCP came out. Now it's just better to get the MCP connected to Fable over here, which makes Rocket Chimp somewhat useful for programming. Still very useful for learning. Somebody who really doesn't know what's going on probably can learn a lot from Rocket Chimp, but past a certain level, unfortunately, it's not the complete solution. So I'm honest about it, at least, you know. Yeah, like I said, mostly talking today. I don't know. Usually we're confused together a lot. Join the stream or the Discord. There's an OS called VibeOS. See, I have attached the video for. I have very interesting content. VibeOS. This is what I'm. I didn't know that. I didn't know about VibeOS, but that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm telling you, this is going to be the trajectory of all operating systems. Windows 12. How is Windows 12 gonna look? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The fact that it used to be very difficult for anyone to compete with Mac OS and Windows OS, and to some extent, but it's a little different. It's a little different with the phone, iOS and Android. But the fact that it was so difficult was enough to just kind of reduce all competition, make it impossible.
And in fact, I'm already there.
Now it's not. Now it's not. Now you can build something from the ground up, kernel level stuff. The fact that I was able to get my dedicated server in one day they had to process it in Singapore, and they literally had to physically put a box in, by the way. Did you know that? They had to put a box in. Like I saw the status reports of OVH, and they're like processing, delivering, and You know, they put the box in for me. I moved the box. Like, I didn't just click some buttons and now I have websites. No, no. I have a box. It's my box for a month in Singapore, but it's mine. The fact that I was able to set that up completely, Ubuntu, and I've never done any Linux, anything in one day and learn everything this fast means that chances are that in a couple of years, OS is going to be something with variety. You can just choose your operating system. Most people, most tech people, I'll say. Let me check this video. Let me just read the chat first. It's called Rocket Chimp. Yes. Yeah, at the pace of tech these days, it's hard to stay ahead of everyone, especially when you're just trying to build cool things that can potentially go to market. Yeah, true. Very true. I literally have built my built my keywords.io game that you just played. It's very hard to remain original. I mean, Meme Gyan immediately just built another one. Look, this is his version. He just put Grok into it. He put Grok in where's he put Grok, he took my site, put it into Grok, and then now he has this. Look at this now. Notice how these are the same. Even the skill and the poof and the stun and the heart that revives. Over here, heart. Like /heart, that's how I was able to revive avocado. And this thing, I literally wrote down in my notes, but I never got to it, is I want to see the typo. Because I think a lot of people will do the typo, and then they'll think, I didn't do a typo. And then they think it's lag, they think the game's broken. No, you made a typo. How many times, genuine question, how many times have you made the typo, okay, and without seeing the red squiggly line, you were like, oh, my bad, it was a typo. How many times? Never, never. You don't know that you made a typo when you made a typo. It's an accident. It's an O. You know what I mean? It's an O. Oh. After, because you realized, because you were told. And so now everyone, when they play the game, doesn't know they made the typo. So it needs to be extremely clear what letter the typo is in. And so this one's a little better than mine, I guess we could argue. But yeah, look what he built. That last part, though, look. And these, like these skins are exactly the ones that I built. Like I took time, I set it up. You know, like this is the Royal Guard. Like somehow it took the exact. I think it's because I'm doing everything in HTML. Which like I might as well open source it at this point. Everything is just deployed. HTML just shows, which means if you drop it onto a website or an LLM and you say, hey, can we copy this? It has everything. It has all the data, all the rules. But it's fine, whatever. Like honestly, like people can go make their own. When you said you scraped it, Grok started gaslighting me. It was like you did it. It wasn't me. I don't do bad things. You did. No, it's fine. But actually, Kitsor Myom Gwadi. I'm trying to build a format, if that makes sense. A format is not something that you like intellectual property. I'm trying to build a game format. If you've played games like you already have coding experience, kind of, but no. Kind of, but no. I was using like WordPress before. New here. What we doing? Mostly talking, but we're talking about and also building this game. I'll just show you a demo really quickly so you know what's going on. So it's a typing game. I built it. It's live, and I just set up a server. I completely forgot the thought that I had. I had a thought that I was gonna say, but you see, this is the gem charge, and you have some skills also. If you want to try, I don't take emails because I'm still building it. So if I do slash blast, for example, no, no, I poofed, destroyed him in time. It was difficult. Anyway, join the lobby. I'll take the L over here. Join the lobby and you'll know exactly what we're doing. I had a thought. I was gonna respond. Oh yeah, you had the coding experience. I was building algos, but not myself. I was hiring a programmer, and I was doing the if-then statements. Like if price does this, if price does that, do this. If this indicator does this, if this indicator. Now with quantitative analysis, there's a lot of numbers, a lot of math, a lot of logic, which is basically coding. And I was talking a lot with this guy, and I was writing the plans, everything for him, and he was using the language of a programmer with me. And so when I went into vibe coding, it was very intuitive for me. I already had the mindset of if-then statements and of like a sequential chain of events, I guess you can call it. Like if this happens, then that, and if that happens, then this other thing. If this other thing happens, then that other thing, right? It's not happening in parallel. It's like a process that creates another thing. It's like a chain. This, mindset makes it very easy to build whatever you want when you're vibe coding, even if you don't really know much of what's going on behind the scenes. And I have a very iterative workflow where I go one by one step at a time. I don't do too much of this swarm thing. I don't do swarms almost ever. I used to always say, don't use sub-agents. Now, Fable is good enough. It's fine. You can use sub-agents. But I used to always do that. Went on a bit of a rant there. Sorry, guys. The concept is that people comes and enjoys that it, and while that we can vibe code and learn and do epic things together. Yeah. I want to build the format though. That's I think I didn't say that. This game, it's fine. Go take it, do whatever you want. I want this to be like Mobile Legends, or not mobile, like Dota. Like Mobile Legends, which is a game that a lot of people play, is a direct descendant of Dota, If this game is number one, then everyone will be attributed to Keywars. And keywars.io will be the original. And if that's just known, then all the other people who build whatever they build in the future are basically like free marketing to me. So it's okay, take whatever, build whatever. But no, the 3D thing that you did, that's really nice. And I saw your other things that you shared. I think you put it in the community builds, yeah. Like this is nice. This is building these games. I didn't try the other games. Are they also like you're still working on them, or which one should I play? So for anyone who doesn't know, this website here is built by Meme Gyan, who's in the chat. Is the website built by you or just the games? It's like an open place. Oh, these are games built by you. I played this one, the Tower Coil Race. Still working on it. Still going. I saw this one be played. The Auto Rick. Yes, everything. Ah, okay. You built the whole thing. This one has audio. Check. Alright, now I know. Now I know you can hear me. Because now I can see. I can see this. Oh, wow. It really hits the red sometimes. Guys, is the audio too loud? Like when I speak, does it hurt your ears? Meme Gyan, your solution. Meme Gyan, don't be toxic. Your solution was the one, by the way, Meme. Mimi, you know what I did? Guess what I did? I unplugged it and replugged it. What did you do? What is this game? This game ruined everything. It's too loud, yep. Okay. No, it's fine. Bubba, I don't trust you. Where's, hold on, let me just, okay, now we're actually back. Alright, there we go. So I should just speak at a normal volume. I set it up so that I don't, like, yell. Alright, guys, my bad. That was a lot. That was much. That was too much. No, but seriously though, did you improve this game? Because when I watched, it was like, brrr. What? I think the game was loud. I think that did some damage on OBS. Don't play the game, it might cause issues. Yeah. Did you fix it? Because when I watched Resident X play it, the turning was a lot worse than it was over here. Or is that just he doesn't turn properly or something? Because it was easy. Sorry, it was the voices in my head. I thought it was just this guy. Oh, and Ariane Dakar is a new person. Hi. Forgot to say welcome. All right. Should we risk it and go with one of the other games or not? I don't know. Oh, I completely forgot. All right, we'll stop with the games for now. We'll wait for Meme Gyan to actually set everything up. In the meantime, we'll go with this OS, Vibe OS. It's the same thing. Okay. Vibe OS.
I'm going to show you, and I need to introduce you
So,
to a completely new
for anyone new,
It's going to change everything.
for anyone new, like we were talking earlier about, yeah, but we got jokes. We were talking earlier about just thoughts about the future trajectory of operating systems given the change with AI. And even earlier, before that, we were talking about the U's. If you remember, if you were here this whole time, the different U's, TPU, right? The tensor processing unit, which right now is not a consumer grade electronic, I guess, piece of hardware, but it is going to be, chances are, because if you think about it, like there's already CPUs, there's the GPUs, and even NPUs. I don't know if you can buy them directly. I think you can if you get into the chip game like me. But chances are all these different U's are going to come about, and then Fable is going to make it so easy for you to go create your own operating system at the kernel level. You don't have to be a master. You can just say, I want this, I want that. And Mimgyan sent this, which is apparently a done version of this, because everything I was saying in my mind is theoretical. But apparently it's not theoretical. It's been executed. Or maybe. We'll see. We'll see if it has. The Vibe OS is crazy. I want to watch this video properly. It's only 7 minutes long. Let's actually just watch it. Let me know. Everyone except Bubba's, please, if you can hear the video.
So,
Bubba's, bro. I don't trust you anymore. I'm sorry, but you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Mimi, can you hear it? The audio?
introducing Vibe OS, okay? The world's first completely hallucinated operating system. All right, I'm going to show it to you right now. So, firstly, it is a real operating system. I can boot it. The HDX file here, about 1.3 gigabytes. Probably make it smaller. I didn't bother. I could boot it on bare metal, but I'm not going to. I'm going to boot it in Hyper-V. So you will see that boot up nice and fast, very efficient. And when that comes up, you'll see it's got a beautiful user interface that allows our users to be highly productive. Okay, so here we go. We're ready to get started with that. It's a bit hard to see. So let's just switch to a full screen view. And we're going to start by running a few of the applications that are built in.
This is nice. It's like they're paying tribute or homage to Windows, the old Windows. Or wait, are they? Is this actually just the old Windows? And they're just running it for some reason? No, 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 it's not. It says Vibe. Alright, what's going on here?
Yeah, so we'll get some of the...
Weigh in. Thank you and welcome. What's going on?
So we'll have Notepad, we'll have Calculator, we'll have Internet Explorer. And the thing that's unique here, the thing that you will never have seen before, is that in these applications, there is no code at all. Everything in all these applications is being hallucinated in real time by the AI. So there's no buttons, there's no event handlers, there's no logic to say what to do, but the application works. So if I do 5 divided by 3 and then equals, if I can find that, it's up there this time. It's 1.6. Okay, so it works, right?
Interesting. Very interesting. So this is different. This is different than what I had in mind. I'll tell you why. Because what this guy's showing you is, according to him, it's hallucinated in real time. Not hallucinated. I don't know about that, but I saw another thing that's similar to that, where they have AI building a UI for a landing page, basically a website, that in real time gets changed constantly. So he's basically talking about something that pushes that to the extreme. And I noticed he said this time, when he was talking about the location of the equals button, which means that it's not a consistent place. It's just every time it clicks one of those apps, it regenerates everything. What I meant when I was talking about an OS, an AI-driven operating system, is basically like a surface that has hard-coded processes. Everything processes OMARCHY, basically OMARCHY. There's all this manual code, all these processes, like what's going on when you go on Task Manager, and you have all this stuff going on over here, right? A bunch of these sorts of processes are integral to the functionality of the operating system, and they're heavy, they're annoying. People don't like them. You don't know what's going on. AI will make it so that you can just kind of set all this up on your own in the way that you want it to be set up, without actually setting it up manually yourself. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you wanted to build your own operating system. You would have to go and do all this stuff on your own, and that would take years of development. But now Fable can do that in probably weeks, where you do everything for you. Like, it does everything for you, which means you can have full control. There's not going to be a bunch of processes that you don't know about, and then Microsoft comes along, takes all your data, sells it to whoever, or uses it for whatever. You see what I mean? And now all of a sudden, the value proposition per person of thinking in their mind, do I want to go through the trouble of looking for an alternative to Windows? That calculation changes. That's all I'm saying. Every time I want to do anything on Windows, it gives me this update. I don't want to update. Stop. You know, have you watched the movie Space Force? Or not the TV show Space Force. If you watch it, at one point, they're trying to do a space launch. There's like competition, America and China. That was hilarious. If you don't know, then you know what I'm talking about. And then the guy just yells, F Windows, F Microsoft. It's a sentiment. It exists. And I'm saying that can change now. Am I making sense? I hope I am. Anyway, let's watch more of this video, because this still is very interesting. And it's proof. It's proof of concept. You know what I mean? Like if this is possible, then what I'm saying is actually also possible.
I didn't write any code, and neither did AI. There's no AI written code either. It's just producing UI exclusively with nothing behind it. We've got Internet Explorer here. Unlike the boring operating systems that you use today, this solves one of the big problems that people have, right? People are always wondering when they're on their internet, is it AI or not? But in Vibe OS, you don't have that problem. There's no question to be answered because the answer is always yes. Everything is AI. So if I want to, I can go to, I don't know, let's see if we can find whether Scott Hanselman has a Wikipedia page, shall we? So I'm going to go to google.com here, and let's do a search for Hanselman Wikipedia.
Wait a second. Look, this is hold on, because this doesn't look like the Google one. Does that mean that this all is generated by AI, including these buttons and this like fake Google? Because that's kind of crazy. You know, we would know the answer to that if we could read what's going on here, but we can't. So, oh wait, there's a translate button. Hold on, let's see what Shiru is saying. Windows, Linux, macOS have years of fixing undocumented edge cases and all kinds of nonsense, though. That you'll keep running into since you'll be the only user of your own custom OS. That you'll keep running into. Oh. So you're saying that they've solved, am I understanding this correctly? You're saying they've solved so many problems that you would need to solve on your own if you try to do it, because given how it's undocumented, it's not in kind of the public domain, or at least, because let's be real, some of these LLM creation inventors of LLM companies don't only go to the public domain, but basically they can't train their large language model on data that doesn't exist to them, which Shiro is saying is important for building your own operating system. That's a good point. That's a really good point. It does, again, shift the calculation. So it is a lot of trouble. I still think there is an effect in terms of like the calculation of whether or not it's worth the trouble to find an alternative. I'm thinking what's going to happen is for a very long period of time, people will continue to use Windows and Mac OS for the main system. Like for your work email, you need to access your work email. You're not going to risk it. But then for other things, like maybe let's do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like the issues and all. Yeah. I think it's connecting to a legacy version of Google from back in the day. Ah, yeah, that makes more sense. It's like when you go on Google with a really old phone, like a Nokia or something, it obviously is not going to give you the same layout. It'll go to an older version. I think Google keeps those versions of Google up. I think maybe, I don't know. Sure, yep. And also like millions of users submit bugs, reports, and stuff for those big operating systems, but you'll always be the first person to run into your own bugs. Yeah. It's probably going to be a community effort though. That's the thing. Like those millions of users, it's gotten to the point now with AI that billions are gonna be exposed to this. Like, if you really think about it, a company like Claude, a company like Anthropic, they really wanted to, given how many people use it, they could push users to go build their own OS. Like, imagine they added that to Fable. They're just like, try building your own OS, and it just shows up everywhere. Most people would struggle. Most people would make sense to them. But those few people who have the mind for it to build their own OS, people like Reza, by the way, Nexa, because he's doing it. Like, he built all of this, okay? He basically built an ADE. Imagine if he had the idea to build it into an operating system. The idea, if he was given the audacity, you know what I mean? He'd probably do it. He'd probably do it. And so all you need really is a couple people to challenge the mega corporations, and we're getting there. Or you can use Linux as a base. Yeah. If AI can mass test the custom OS, though, that might fix the issue. It could. All this is still early phases, but I don't think it's theoretical anymore. Like, I think it's, if somebody really wanted to, I mean, we know somebody who really wanted to, who wanted to build an OS, built an OS without LLMs. It's just now it's not as big of a drain of energy and time and resources and pain and suffering to reach the level of being able to build something from the kernel level all the way up. Now it's just easier. And I say this simply as somebody who yesterday fully configured his dedicated server and realized how easy it was. Took days, and now I just have everything. Ubuntu, you know, this is what happens when you get Linux for the first time. I'm assuming there's a feeling associated with getting Linux for the first time, and this is it, where I'm just like, I'm the guy. You don't know things, I know things. This is what I feel right now. It's a feeling. It'll fade. It'll fade. I'll be humbled again soon.
We'll do a Google search there, and I don't need to remind you this, but all of the content you're seeing is completely hallucinated, right? So it's just coming directly out of the model, and the UI is being updated in real time as we go. And there's a beautiful picture of Scott Hanson. I'm not sure about that. All right, but it goes further, right? We're not limited to these built-in applications. We can search for any app that we want, and everyone always does like to do app demos. So anything that I search for, I'm going to find, and it will just be created for me on the fly.
Oh, damn. That's crazy. That's crazy. So the way that they're implementing search, obviously it's probably going to give you not the best result every time you find the app, but it's inventing the app on the spot. So whenever you search for something, it gets invented on the spot. This is the fact that this is exactly like a sort of operating system that is designed for, or it's purpose built is the word I want to use. It's purpose built for agentic AI. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be different if it's built for agentic AI versus if it's built for human operators. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the ideas are going to be, but this is going to be the trajectory. It must be. I think there are two phases, Meme Gyan wrote. One company wants you to have all the power like NVIDIA DJ Sparks, and many companies want users to log in their system like Windows. Fair argument, but NVIDIA, for example, is playing the game both ways. Like NVIDIA has NVIDIA GeForce, NVIDIA GeForce Gaming Cloud. Is that what it's called? And bro, Jensen is ooh. Skip the gaming PC. You have to, okay, wait, hold on. Mr. Who's the Boss? Mr. Who's the Boss? This is the game, or the game. This is the video.
Is a PlayStation 5. it came out in 2020 at $399, and now, even though it's
All right, I'm gonna put this on the Discord just so that Mimi can see it, because I need you to watch the video later, because he does a much better job of explaining. Check. Can you still hear me? Community builds? No. I'll just put it in the chat section in the Discord. For anyone who's new, by the way, we have a Discord community, and this video that I'm putting over here explains why. This is my counter argument to what Mimi said about like one side is trying to help give you control and the other is not. Nah, Nvidia is smart. Nvidia is doing both. Like they're giving you some power, but at the same time they're giving the mega corporations so much more power to the point where it just does not make it's not feasible for you to have your own anything really. This is crazy though.
All right, so let's see what else we could find in here. Let's go for one of the classics, Carter 98. Everyone loves that one, but it's all about Mark Rustino. All right, and so we can get a fully customized version of Encarta 98 on whatever subject we're interested in. All right, so lots of facts and figures about Mark here. Let's see. Selected facts. Cinevic has a talent for turning internals into football. Great. I think that's true. I don't know. All right. And other applications that you would want, but normally it's too difficult to make. So like Commander XC, but it's always rude to do. All right. So that's the sort of application that I think is a genius idea, but it's
I think it's a genius idea too. I basically kind of built something similar. I don't know if you know this, but in the Discord community, This Chimp. His name is This Chimp. He's kind of like that. I made him. He's a captain somewhere. But I gave him an attitude. I was just like, all right, listen, you're the moderator, and you should behave a certain way. Like you should respond to certain things. And so the rules. Look, he added this. This Chimp said, for the rules, number one, what Yusuf says goes. I typed that. Number two, you know how to be nice. Be nice. Come on. And then he's like, that's it. 2 lines. I've read longer error messages. And he did this. Yeah. These are the sorts of things, like, you can just do that. It's funny. CMD, that's always rude. Just curious, what are you learning / building? Because I dropped in randomly. Well, I was learning about the dedicated servers, and I set up. So I have this website, and it was running on Railway. Or was using Railway, and I learned that. I'll give you a quick rundown. I learned that you can technically, but it's bad to do it on Vercel and Supabase, which is where vibe coders go first, right? And you should use Railway because there's persistence, Fly or Railway. And so I made the decision to use Railway, set it up. I was on the trial version, still on the trial version, and then a user was like, let me show you how you can do a dedicated server. In other words, you literally rent a box. And I got the box, I set up the box, and I migrated this website, along with a bunch of my websites, really to the dedicated server that is mine now, that I'm renting every month. And I have it here, and I hid everything because there's some stuff that shouldn't be shown, and I don't know what it is, so I hid everything. But I can click this button, like the unhide button, and see. I'll explain kind of what I know. The containers here is basically where the websites are. There's a Docker thing, I guess, that creates a container or holds a container or whatever it does. I'm using my own Postgres instead of Supabase, which basically means I have the database, all the users that come in. So that's what I'm focused on now from a wider perspective. Well, we were talking about what'd you call it? The Vibe OS, which kind of crazy. What do you think? I'm really curious. Mimi has told me. Wait, hold on. Where is it? What do you think? He's told everyone, Mimi. Where is it? Oh, here, next up. What do you think about this UI? And UI in general. As an OS. Hold on. This becomes an OS. I'm saying, look, there's this is cute. Voice needs a key or sign in. Yeah, I shouldn't click any voice related things because then I'll lose audio again. You can make a plugin that hides secrets, keys and API keys and emails and passwords on browser when streaming. It would be good for you and for others too. That's a really good idea, actually. Too transparent. That's a good point. But check this out. And this is why I like this sort of control. I think with blur you can do it, or with this one, background dim. No, that's not the one. Blur. Nope. Tint. Yeah, never mind. Oh, this is the one. This is the one. You could do that, but then there's another place. Yeah, here you can choose solid. You can choose you can just make it solid, like if you don't want it transparent at all. Max just makes everything dark, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Nexa has all these features. This is the outdated version though. Little things. And I told the developer, I don't like how when you click the X button, it opens this. So I clicked X, bro. I clicked it. Like just close. I told him he was here on my stream. I think this was 2 days ago. And I was like this. I was like, you see this finger? I'm deliberate with this finger. When I do this, I mean it. It's true. And it's fine. Just you should close, yeah. He fixed it. And so the updated version, it's not out yet. But he's live streaming it. His name is Reza Nexa. That has that fix along with some other fixes. I can't wait for these operating systems to really take over and be the primary mode of engagement with the computer. Oh, that's cool. You're using Hetzner for the VPS. I find that it's cheapest and most reliable. Also, are you using Cloudflare to make it public? Two things. I'm not using Hetzner. I'm using OVH. But the person who told me about this, who basically infected me with the dedicated server bug, who pushed me onto all this because I realized how wonderful it is using Hetzner. And so a very big part of the prompting was Hetzner. So if you saw Hetzner somewhere while I was learning, because I was asking, what is Hetzner? Like, what's this? What are my alternatives? What works for me? Hetzner is in not Romania, one of the European countries, and it's good over there. For me, because I'm in Kuwait, Singapore is my best option, which is why I'm using OVH. It's close to me. Plus, many of the people that are watching my YouTube are in the South Asia geography. Yeah, I don't know, I forgot that word. And so Singapore just makes a lot more sense, irrespective of price. Regarding the Cloudflare, yes, I am using Cloudflare. I haven't optimized it, and I actually was rushing right before this stream to like set up Cloudflare, and then I paused it and I was like, let's just stream. Are you Thanos? Everything clicks. Now you have to lock in for the app. ADHD really kicks in. Yeah. ADHD. I'm everywhere. I'm literally everywhere. We haven't even finished this video, but good, lots of engagement, good questions. You guys are taking me all these interesting directions. And really, I guess it's fine. Like, this is, at the end of the day, kind of like a conversation. What is your advice for a CS student? I don't know. I don't think I'm in a position really to give advice specifically to a CS student. I don't even know what CS is. I'm assuming it has something to do with like computer science, right? Hold on. Actually, that's funny. My friend Moody, and Jamil knows Moody, is a CS student. I gave him advice on his thing that he's building called Yuval. Yuval? Here's my advice to him, because I literally don't even know what it's called anymore. Just be simple. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. People don't really care about your features. Like, you can build the best thing ever. Okay? Amazing, amazing. All the features. Revolutionary. You broke the internet. You invented something. You're a full-blown inventor. Like, you pushed, you know? Nobody cares. Nobody knows enough to care. The amount of people who have become a CS student is small, and there's a barrier, the IQ barrier, we'll call it. And if you're only talking to the people that are as smart as you, we'll say, that's a very small pool of people. And so when you solve your own problems, because they're problems for you, you're not solving other people's problems. Other people have problems that are really simple. For you, for example, this is funny. Chances are you know that if you hit Control Shift R, it refreshes hard. We'll call that hard, just hard. People don't know that. And so you set up a website and you think it's fine, people can Control Shift R. Because it's not a problem for you. It's never been a problem for you. You know that the refresh button exists. There's people using the internet that don't even know what this button does here. And it's overwhelming for them, this button. And you tell them, and one of those people, by the way, my father. So these people, it's not like, oh, they're just dumb. No, they're just different ages. An old person uses the internet, different passions. Some people are just very offline, but they still need some online stuff. So solve their problems, don't solve your problems. Which brings me to the most ADHD place ever, which is my advice for you. This is here. It's my turn to give you a tip. Get it? Because the thumbnail, the titles give me tips, right? But no. 3M3 Abdo 332. I'm gonna give you a tip this time. Make it simple. Even if it's the most sophisticated, complex, massive, big picture build ever made. Here's my advice. Make it simple. And that's my advice to you as a CS student. All right. We'll see if it's time to get back to completing this video, or depending on the chats and what you guys are saying. I guess not this time. Let's see. I'm not sure if you learned how Cloudflare Tunnel works, but basically it allows you to keep your server private by opening an outbound connection to Cloudflare's servers. That makes sense to me right now because of some of the studying that I did yesterday night. Because everything now is an inbound port only. So what I understand is I don't have any outbound, which is why I'm kind of safe right now. But if I do outbound, I'm assuming it means I can do more things. I'm gonna write this down so I can properly study it. Cloudflare Tunnel. I'm just gonna put the terms together. Cloudflare tunnel. All right, wait. What are the key terms here? Cloudflare, Shiro, you know things. You know, you're one of the knowers of who knows the things. One of the smarts. Cloudflare. Basically, you're saying learn how Cloudflare tunnels work and keep your server private. Okay, privacy, because I don't know about the privacy, but more importantly, the outbound and inbound connection. Outbound plus inbound connection. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna master next, and that's gonna put me even more behind than in what I'm trying to do than I already am. So thank you. You've extended my ADHD beyond this streaming live session and into my personal life, because that's something I'm gonna do now a lot. Dad Yusuf, so smart, of course. Jameen. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. No worries. And thank you for leaving comments and engaging in my live stream. Your server needs to be public to accept inbound connections. Wait. This is the perfect opportunity to use one of those terms. Inbound, I said it earlier. That's fine, we'll leave that for later. It's fine. Tech is about jumping into rabbit holes. Yes. Like F around and find out, basically. But still, you need to be cautious, like especially if it has to do with other people's sensitive data. That's when maybe, you know, maybe choose a smaller experiment that doesn't risk. Like, be smart about the risk. Like, if you deliberately set yourself up so that if this whole thing just kind of fails, completely explodes, just gone, it's fine. It's not connected to everything else. It's fully self-contained. Then you can do whatever you want with it. You can break it, which is what I'm gonna do with this chip here. This chip it's highly likely that this chip is going to be broken because I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna go with this Linux distro, that Linux distro, this other one. I'm gonna plug things in. I may even go as far as to like try and do even more technical things. Like, is it possible to give it electricity, the correct amount of electricity, and into here, but then switch it into USB? Like plug it into a USB. Is it probably gonna break this, not my other things. What is it called? The port. It's called the port, like the socket, the wall socket. Outbound means your server initiates the connection. Inbound means your server accepted. Oh. So it's like a send it out or accept coming in, out or in. Is it like an HTTP request mechanically, but it's a different type of request that is not HTTP, but it behaves the same as an HTTP request? Because if that's a yes, then I understand now. Your phone doesn't have a public IP, but can initiate a connection to Google, but Google needs a public IP so that your phone can send a request to them. For example, oh, we're getting getting a big example here. You know the end curl command? That's outbound, basically. I don't know the end. I hear curl a lot. Now you've gotten to my limit as what I currently know. Curl. I think that's a shell. Something to do with the shell. Like it's like npm, right? There's npm, and then it does a bunch of commands within it, and then curl is another one that has commands within it. Am I right? I don't know. All right, we're gonna allow the ADHD to take even more of this guy's what he's showing us, and I'm gonna ask curl versus npm. What's the difference? What are the similarities? What are the similarities I wrote? What are the similarities? What is their purpose? All right, we're getting deep into the world of engineering. I guess this is a computer science, what it is, right? That's the overarching term, like what I'm doing now. Yep, curl is a terminal thingy. Okay, yes. The terminal thingy, basically. All right, to know, especially if I'm gonna get into Linux, then, because I hear curl a lot, like this is the time to learn about this. All right, we're starting with an analogy, because always that just helps. Curl is a courier. Give it an address, it fetches whatever is there, or delivers a parcel. It doesn't care what's inside the box. NPM is a hardware store with a delivery service. You say, I need a hammer, it knows the catalog, finds the right version, delivers it, and the nails and handle. Okay, I get it. So it's like a storage space. Let me just make sure I get it. NPM. And NPM is a catalog program, like using a database, but like, no. Like what creates the mechanics for using a database. Correct? I don't even know. I'm asking a good question here or not? BRB in 15 minutes. Take your time, bro. Terminal commands are actually the application. Yes, so terminal commands are actually the application. Curl and NPM are completely different applications that can run on the terminal. Okay, I think. All right, NPM is a catalog program, like what creates the mechanic for using a database. NPM stands for Node Package Manager. Actually does enlighten me in terms of like what it does. NPM is the Node Package Manager. This says close, but there's one refinement. NPM isn't the database engine, it's the librarian. So it's the operator. Like it's not the mechanic in the sense that it's like a mechanic that exists. It's the guy who's a mechanic. Like, you know, when there's a guy who's a mechanic who does things. No. There's a mechanic and then there's the operator. So NPM is the operator. Are they both the operators based on what Shiro is saying they are? Operator. Operator. Okay, operation. Operator. They are both the operator. They are both an operator, not an operator of the terminal/shell. correct? They just have different mechanics, which is why they are used for different purposes. Almost flip the ratio. Oh my god. All right, I'll come back to that, but first let me just read this because it'll probably help me with understanding what's going on. Have you vibe coded? Wait, npm manages packages for JavaScript apps. Okay, have you vibe coded apps and seen the import statement? No. What do you mean import? Basically, JavaScript app need npm to actually find the external package you import. Every programming language has a package manager. A package manager. Okay, I'm thinking package manager. I need to know what a package is first, because then I can know what the applications around packages are for. That sounds like like a very logical statement, even though I'm not entirely sure what I just said. I feel like that's the most logical thing right now. What's a package? Because that might help to wrap my head around npm. I understand, like wait, does a package have to be compiled or before it gets sent? Docker does like an image, which is like an instance that's just there. Is that a package? Like, what is a package even? That basically, when you are an app, you don't want to recreate everything from scratch. Like runtime. Now I'm throwing too many things in together. Hold on. I'm close. I can feel it. Analogy: a package is a flat furniture box inside the parts, code and instruction sheet, and label saying require an Allen key. Dependencies. Okay. You don't build a chair from raw wood, you order the box. That's a horrible analogy. Literally, a package is just a file containing code, one or more .js files, package.json, manifest. Is it only databases? Okay, hold on. What is and isn't a package? Files. Files like mp4, json dot txt, and we'll throw in like a directory, like a directory folder. Does a directory folder count as a package? You know what I mean? Basically, when you make an app, you don't want to recreate everything from scratch. So you install packages that other people made to implement common things. Okay. All right. So now this makes it a bit easier here. So it's saying MP4 is not a package, text is not a package, JSON is not a package, but there's a bit of an unless situation here. Okay. A plain folder is also not a package. A folder with package.json, your whole project. A folder of MP4s with package.json. So basically, it's like, okay, it's basically a very specific thing that gets sent just so that it can become understood by the other party in this system. This is like a system architecture thing, because it's not, because what I'm reading on the side with the Y is it needs to be labeled as JSON and it must be a package, so it serves a very specific purpose. It probably follows a format, right? Like there's a format that has to follow for it to be used. One more. Can you pull up Google Colab? I think the best way to understand it is by doing it. It'll just take a couple minutes. I want to show you an example in Python. Okay. What even is Google Colab? Hold on. Is it like a space that you can... Thank you, by the way, for taking the time. Whoa. You joined the Discord, right? A couple days ago? Or not a couple days, yesterday. I saw... No, you didn't. Website, create a notebook. All right. New notebook. Let's do this. Ooh, Google Collab. Google Collab. I found your stream today only. Ah, okay. Uh, okay, and the first cell type pip install request and run it. Okay, okay. Okay, so this is a full-blown, I'm a programmer situation. Okay, pip install requests. I think I'm supposed to also type these. Then create a new cell by hovering below the first cell and a plus code button. Show that what is going on? Hold on. All right, I've created another cell. Pip is Python's package manager. All right, so I have two cells now. For anyone who's joining the stream and watching and doesn't know what's going on and it's gibberish and what's going on. I'm a vibe coder, but over here what's happening, we're doing some manual code that's very important for you to fully own and fully control your own data and your own everything. And it starts with actually understanding what's going on. You can do it without understanding, or you can understand, and we have Shiro over here teaching us what is apparently the beginning. Now remove the quotes. Okay. Does that make it a string, or do you need like full quotation for that? Alright, what's next? What's next? Can I type import request on the first line? Import requests. This is cool. I didn't know Google had a feature like this. Apparently you can just... Wow, Google has like everything. Okay, now type import request on the first line. Oh, I did that. Is this correct? What's going on? What are we even doing? We'll find out in a bit. What does play do? Alright, I click this play button. It says queued. I'm assuming I'll see some stuff happen on this. Oh, it says connecting. Whoa, whoa. Alright, so we have this stuff here. Requirement already satisfied. That's crazy. Import requests. Okay. Alright, so I did the pip install request and now I'm doing the import request. Module not found. Not if your import is failing due to a missing package. A package. This is where we're at. Packages. You can manually install dependencies using either pip or apt. Confusion. Raw. Missing S. Requests. Import requests. Oh. Whoa. 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 Oh. You're a debugger. You just debugged, didn't you? That was a bug. Whoa, whoa. I don't know what just happened right here. Okay, this is crazy. Everything changed when I clicked that button. Importing a library that is not collaboratory. To import libraries that's not collaboratory by default, you can use pip install or apt. I think it almost triggered whatever it's supposed to trigger. Oh, hi Jay. Salam. Rerun it. Okay, what am I seeing? This time I think it worked, right? Because like there's no errors. I even see green. Green, when you see green, you just kind of think about it like it's green. It worked, you know? So it worked. What worked? You can also click explain error, which will explain what is wrong. Your tab switched. Well, we're learning about packages. Got a little carried away. This time it was you guys doing it with the ADHD, huh? But it's not me. You ADHD'd into a whole different tab. A whole different tab? Like what? Go back to the correct tab. I didn't switch tabs. Oh, it opened a new tab for me. Which packages? Well, wouldn't you like to know, Jay? Wouldn't you like to know? Maybe if you were here from earlier, you would know. What packages they are. Moderator, Jay. I don't know what the packages are, to be honest. Like, I don't even know. I'm learning what package even means, so I would answer if I knew. Then print response.json. Then run them in order. Print response.json. Are you saying write print response dot JSON? Is that what you mean? Of course, when it comes to response, it's very important to have an S. Is this what you mean? I'm very you need to talk to me with detail. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know like what a package is. I don't know what we're doing. There's a good book called Think Python. I think you need to read it. I think I do too. I think I do too. Abdulrahman. And welcome, by the way. This is actually not a good way to learn. I'm gonna learn it later, but it's a good way to be exposed to things. So I'm being exposed to all this stuff. Later on, I'll probably learn it, actually. But let's keep going with what Shiro was trying to show. He has an example. Is this right, by the way? Let me click it and see. Oh. All right, we have 2 check marks. We have 2 check marks. What if I click a space here? I feel like I could do something. Nope, never mind. It made it worse. Okay. All right, we go backwards in time. Explain error. Ooh. Things to know. Notice the paper. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to I'm going to go back to just actually learning what a package is before clicking around, but now I know that there's a thing called Google Colab. Jason. Who's Jason? Who's Jason? User DD1DX2ME4W. Is he someone you know? I don't know him. I don't know Jason. Curl versus npm. That's what I want to know. I want to know how to use those first. Curl versus npm. Back to curl. Back to curl. And npm. What are the capabilities? What are the capabilities of each? Provide a list of the main functionality of each of them. Of each of them. Yes. Them. All right. Curl. The courier. And this is some of its main functionalities. And npm talk to the servers by hand. Test what your code will do before writing it. All right, so fetch a page, file or API response, get. So that's curl. Get falls under the classification of curl. So you can do curl to get things, send, post or put, submit forms, upload. Set headers, auth tokens, type. That doesn't make any sense to me right now. We'll continue in a bit. Let me read. I just published my own npm package 2 days ago. npm package. We're back to the packages. In 21 days, you could have had a much better grasp on Python if you've read the book. I was busy grasping other things, bro. Let me help you understand curl. All right, help me understand. I'm gonna read a couple more of this. And in the meantime, let's see what your attempt is. Shiro tried to help me to understand, but I don't know. Practice is the best way, really, because I have packages. I have all these things going. I just want to get a better sense of my dedicated server. Jay, you don't know about this, but I have, and also Abdurrahman. Check this out. This is I have a server in Singapore, which has my websites. Like I've upgraded. I've gone from CRUD app on my desktop to Supabase Vercel to Railway, which is next level, like Fly Railway and persistent stuff with the Docker images, to dedicated server Ubuntu. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. But I went so fast that like I kind of don't know what's going on, and now I just need to take a step back and actually figure out like what is it, what's happening. And obviously I couldn't have done it without you guys. And so that's basically where we're at. Each one of these is a site. I'm not showing it now because I don't know what I can and can't show, and so I'm just not showing anything. But I have a button here. When I click, it shows everything, all my websites. Have you written the code yourself? Of course not. Of course, I'm a vibe coder. I've written the prompts myself. Look. I know. This is Kuma, by the way. I know you're skeptical. Everyone's skeptical. Okay, but check this. Check to this. Click on this game. Join my lobby. Try it out, and and you'll see that it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to do things traditionally, conventionally, or correctly even to do things. Stone, arrow. Join the lobby. We can do this. I built this game. I'm still building it, and already there's it's on my dedicated server. Okay, I'm not asking. You can play without emails yet because I'm not confident enough to take emails on it. Once I'm confident enough in terms of security, then it's multiplayer. So join me, multiplayer. Okay, I'm gonna take a loss. Even though I haven't even used my abilities. Poof makes them all disappear. Pause makes them all pause. I'll show you. Pause is nice. Look, if I do slash and then type pause, they all get paused. They're all frozen, and you can type their names while they come at you. Go to some web page. Open inspect elements network. Sure. Inspect network. Reload page. Tell me if there's I don't know, I'm worried. I'm scared. I'm feeling like I'm pushing should I show this? Like, should I show this? I don't know. Have you written the code? So no. Use Baidu AI. It's interesting. Good AI. Okay. Baidu. It's one of the Chinese companies. I didn't know they had an AI actually. Let me look into it. I know that not Kimi. Not Kimi. GLM or the one that's like 2.4 trillion parameters. Do you know which one? That one's like crazy. Address, chat Baidu, AI, and dot in between. Okay. What are you building? Click on anything under name. Don't show your look yourself. You will see posts and get requests for each. Yeah. All right, we'll pause some of the learning stuff for now, just so I can show Ishak YT the game. We'll play one more. We'll play one game of this. This is what I'm building. We'll play one of these games. I'll do the live stream lobby, and then I'll end the stream. So join the game. Let me know what you think about it. And this is the project that I'm working on, basically. It is keywords.io. It's a typing game. I'm trying to build the meta, or trying to build the game mechanics for it. It's keywords.io. I'm gonna put Baidu.ai just so I can check it later. By Baidu.ai didn't work. Yeah, doing it wrong. Anyway, joining the lobby. Anyone gonna play? Jay? The lobby is live stream. Live stream. Got some of these trinkets. I think the format is actually going to be a nice format, and over time, as we build it and play it, we can continue to make it better, so that it becomes a format kind of like Mobile Legends. I've said this many times, where there's different lanes, and that became the thing. Came from Dota, League of Legends, now Mobile Legends, and even others. Myoji Arena is one of them, which I like. And so completely willing to change. I'm joining. I know now how to play. Okay, now you know how to play. The abilities, right? So I want to do that. I want to set up the abilities. Avocado's joining. Jay, are you in or not? Are you just gonna join the spectate? Avocado's in. Ishak, are you still there? You still there, bro? I can see your face. Your display picture is your face really close to the camera. Are you joining? Are you still even online here? I don't know. Skyro. Address chat Baidu. Skyro, Baidu didn't work. You wanna play or not? We have 2 people already. Before it's too late. Because both Avocado and Jay went in. I don't think Prime. Okay, Meme Gyan said he would be back in 15 minutes, so I don't know if he's back or not. Prime stops by every day, which is really nice. And then I assume he lurks. Because the number on my... I check at the end. I check at the end how many people are there. And there's a lot more people than there are in the chat, in the actual viewing. And so anyone joining, this is the last call. This is the last call right now to join. Live stream, keywords.io. The minute's over. All right, Jay, let's go. All right, we're ready. Damage type, control type. One of you guys want to switch to buff type? Actually, it was chat baidu.com actually. Guys, can one of you switch to buff so that you can have the buff ability instead of the damage? Because I'm damage right now, so Yella is my base skill. And both of you have the CC ability. That's your base skill. Okay, nice. Jay's switching to buff. Chatbaidu.com. Alright, we're gonna have that there. Alright, both of you guys are switching around a lot now. Are you trying to see who wants to be what? Jay, you want to be damaged, don't you? Fine, I'll be CC. I'll be CC. All right, I'll take one for the team. All right, we're ready. Let's go. Okay, let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Let's win. Jay can type. Jay, I already know this. He can type. And now, as the CC, I can control them hard every 9 seconds. We can make it. It might be possible. I'm not saying we're going to do it. It might be possible to make it up to 50. Level 50. We'll see. Oh yeah, space. Just in case you don't know, space, you jump with space. So when the log guy happens, you can jump over. Okay, we're playing a game, and kind of just there. Yeah, Jay can type. Meme. It's so sad. Oh, type, jump, guys. You didn't jump. Jump. Meme. You're almost in time. I was literally just telling everyone to join. Mimi. It's gonna get tough. I'm telling you now. Like, now it's easy. Like, anyone can just type whatever. That was quick. By the way, the abilities, some of them have passives. And so, like this, for example, will have a passive where it just takes out the one behind, but only if you're a damage type, which in this case is J. So, lots of mechanics there. Alright, it's worth it. I'm gonna freeze them. Night. Spellbound. Did you trigger your yellow skill? Is that what happened? I have a problem. I need to add a much more clear effect so everyone knows who triggered what ability. Avocado, trigger buff more. That's it. I almost forgot. Give us armor. Let's go. Intent Kuber, nice. Alright, I did a blast. Push them all off. I think it's worth it. Thunder, clap. Alright, guys, focus. Focus, we can do this. We already made it to 6 now. It's very easy. We didn't even risk it. Every time your cooldown comes back, Avocado, run buff so that we can all have buff. CC. Juggernaut. Blast. I did a blast. Somebody did pause. Onslaught. Basilisk. Thunderclap. Iron Heart. Alright, I did a poof. If you have poof, like, we need you right now. My blast's almost back, but it only works within range, so this could be problematic. Could be very problematic. I'm gonna save my CC and my pause. Both of them kind of do the same thing. CC only freezes for 3 seconds with the 9-second cooldown. Berserker. Ironheart. Nightfall. Cataclysm. Ooh, Cataclysm. Cataclysm. Again. That wasn't me this time. Whirlwind. Swordmaster. This game is very engaging. Huh? I built it, so I'm a little biased. I'm just a little bit biased, just a bit. Anyone who wants to join, you can join spectate only now because we began, unfortunately. Shield Maiden. Spellbound. Juggernaut. Stronghold. Choose different words, guys. Get the boss. Cataclysm. Halberd. Gauntlet. Nice, and I got a heart for it because I got the boss. X. Oh. Yeah, we got buffed with armor though. We got buffed. We got a lot of armor right now. Battlement. This might be like a final boss situation, actually. Pause. I had to poof. Oh, this is my first time making it to level 11. Oh, look at this new game map. It's gonna get way more difficult, and there's different words now. Pasture. Gust. I tried to type, but someone takes over. It's the boss. Oh, wait, maybe it's another one of us. Hillside. Torch. And doesn't work for me. Okay, that's good to know because I'm gonna look into it. That's a type of bug that you can only find when you have a bunch of people playing and clicking really intensely and making mistakes at the same time. Are you sure? Are you sure, Jay, that it's actually a mistake with the game and not with you? Because if you think about it, I said this before, you want to hear. If you think about it, nobody does a typo and knows that they did a typo. So, I mean, there's a little bit of an ego thing involved here, but I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong, Jay. I'm saying chances are, given how it's like working for me, that it might just actually be working, you know? Ascent. Morning dew. Forest. Low. When you say it doesn't work, I saw sometimes that it actually doesn't work for me. There's definitely an actual bug though. I don't know why it works most of the time and then sometimes it happens and I can't tell if it actually is me. This is a serious bug here. Visually, this just looks ugly. Like the armor went below the heart, right? This is the kind of stuff that I'm focused on, honestly. Like half word was my color, half someone else. Ah, yes, that's deliberate. I changed it so that people can compete for the same word, and so that's on purpose. Vine, yeah, yeah. It wasn't like this before. You were here from before, Jay. So you're seeing this as different. So you were locked in. The reason I made it this way is because before you would be locked in behind someone else, and then they would be slow, and then you would lose, and it would be annoying for you. Now, as somebody who's a fast typer, you don't need to be annoyed. You can just overtake everyone if you really want to, and play with people who suck, and not hate the game. We have so much armor and buffs that it's fine. We can just absorb a bunch of hits. All right. Morning dew. Trail. What's going on? All right. I used my pause. Quick, let's type them. Lantern. Light. Smoke. Stack. You're making a typo. That's you. Mountain side. That's you. Did it stop working for you? Just there? Or are you just typoing? Because it was working for me. We just absorbed those hits. We just absorbed those hits. Jay, calm down. Calm down. Calm down, Jay. Avocado. Avocado's keeping his head. Good job. Now you're keeping. That's what happens when you calm down. You start to think about these things. Ah. Bro, you can't type in the YouTube chat. We need you. Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Jay, you can't talk back to me. You can't communicate in the chat. If you communicate in the chat, in the YouTube chat here, we lose. What are you doing? Come on, Jay. The carry just decides to stop carrying. What? What? Decides to take a break. Huh. Oh no. Country side. Yes, I got a word. What was that word? Sun shield or something? Oh, we're level 19. This is the final level. This is the final level. And I don't have any abilities. I only have CC. I'm gonna save it for as soon as the boss comes out. Cobblestone. Smoke stack. Nope. Smoke stack. CC. Railhead. Smoke screen. CC. Guys, quick. Do you have yellow? Do you have yellow? Tell me you have it. Flare out. This is why we need. Okay, we just lost all of our armor. Guys. We lost all of our armor. We're kind of screwed. But it's okay. We're at level 21. It's going to be easier. It's a new set of words once again. This is the first time that I've made it this far in my game. I love how I say I, like I've made it this far in my game. It's just you guys don't think that I'm just watching. All right, I've made it this far, and I've made it to level 22. This is nice. This is nice. The maps all worked. Tundra. Dry heath. The damage is the most powerful one. Actually, no. Avocado with the buff came in clutch. Avocado, if you have buff, use it. If you have buff right now, use it because it doesn't run out. And so you just use it and you give us armor constantly. So if you're listening, Avocado, if you can do buff, that would be very nice. Wanderlust. Trader. Parched. Sandbank. You need to buff. Yeah, there he buffed. Nice. Alright. I'm not speaking to myself alone in my room. That was confirmation for me. Because you can't you can't chat on YouTube. You probably have things you want to say, but you can't say them. Mirror give veil. I did it. Pyramid. Elasticity. Whoa. Whoa. Did that just lag? Did that that was a bug. That was a bug. Or that was a lag sort of an issue. I think. Because it was the same word. And the guy disappeared and came back. That's the problem with the prediction machine. Because that's how I'm simulating making it. Oh, I did CC too late. You typed Yella faster than I typed CC. Bro, I was getting stuck. We just absorbed those hits, but it's okay. We have so much armor that we can absorb damage. Heat stroke. Dustwalker. Sand sentinel. Palm Grove. Are you gonna hate this boss, Jay? You are going to hate this boss so much. I think we might lose this. If you don't have Yella, we're screwed. Oh, you got him. He can basically parry this boss. You're increasing typing speed, but wrote incorrect URL address of that AI. Yeah, basically. You're typing a lot of things incorrect, but keep in mind, I'm not the one typing all these things. Jay and Avocado are. I'm just there CCing every once in a while. Too late. After after Jay does the actual Yella skill that gets rid of them, then I CC one person. Oh my god. I was messed up. Oh. That was me. That was all me, Wanderlust. Oh, no. Buried temple. Oh my god. Jay, what are you do? Why would you do that? Why would you stop, Jay, and try to type on YouTube? We just lost so much because you weren't there. I'm sorry. It was fine. Okay, no. Oh, wait. Don't panic, guys. Grab, no. Eat. Oh. Oh. That's funny. That's funny, Jay. You need to revive Avocado at least, but you can't control who you revive. Yalla. Revive. Type heart. /heart. /heart. If you get Avocado, you can /buff and immediately give you an armor. /heart just doubles your speed. You're oh. Blast. /blast. Oh, you don't have blast. 29. We made it all the way to level 29. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's intense. Honestly, that was intense. That was intense. That was difficult, wasn't it? I made it a lot more difficult, Jay. You didn't know. Avocado, it was fun. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you like it, actually. It's proof that this worked. 277 words. How did you know that? How did you know that it's 277? Were you looking at the stats? For me, it's too fast. It just disappears. What were you guys doing? Look, I have a valid excuse for not participating in all the typing and carrying with the team and everything. I'm live streaming. Okay, so I'm multitasking. I'm talking to the camera. I'm trying to make it engaging. I'm clicking these buttons over here, making sure that everything is seen. So that's my excuse. You should watch GTA 4 leaks. I should. I saw I think it's Dylan Page. Dylan Page was talking about it, and then I saw some like reels about it. And there's one guy who's the guy who's doing the leaks has a dead man switch where if they catch him, it's a movie. There's if they catch him, then it just leaks to everyone for free. Like he's holding them hostage. That's crazy. That's crazy. GTA for me is always like laggy. That's the problem though. Because I'm in Kuwait, I think like the speed maybe. I don't know. You both were below 100. I'm also typing in white YouTube and that game. I'm not gonna lie, that's you are impressive at typing. You're very impressive. That was quick. Like it's not the fact that you can type really quickly alone. It's the fact that you can type really quickly what you see. That's different. Like me, when I'm typing what I want to type, and it's my imagination, my words, I'm really fast. But it's a completely different skill set to be able to see something, like actually see it, okay? And then immediately have that word and the spelling of it in your head to be able to type it. And it's another thing is not looking at your keyboard. That gives you a huge competitive advantage. Like I can type quickly when I'm looking at my keyboard, but I rely on my eyes and where everything is to remember where everything is sometimes. So that affects speed as well. But yeah, no, that was very impressive. Yeah, and also you didn't have skills. Like there's no skills, right? You didn't find out about them. All right. It's gotten dark. I'm gonna end the stream. It's 8 p.m. now. It was a good time. Today was fun. Today was a really fun stream. Strong ending with the game also. I'm gonna do a little recap and just tell you where I'm at because I did start talking about the chip and like my experience with Linux and basically none, right? And getting into it. Yeah, this is something that I'm not entirely sure that I even want to fully pursue, but it's definitely something I want to poke at. If that makes sense. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna just click around. If it seems like it's too much effort, I'm gonna abandon it really quickly. But having set up a dedicated server really easily, I'm just emboldened. Like I'm more confident now. Okay, I'll go back to abusing OX Alpha. I also want to look into OX Alpha a lot more. I think tomorrow that's going to be something that I want to do a lot of because I'm realizing that it's trending. That's purely the reason. Like it's a big thing everyone's talking about. So for YouTube, I'm thinking that's a good thing. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah, sure, it was a nice stream. Keep up the good work, buddy. Thank you, Imgyan. You're constantly there. Means a lot. Jay, also you too. Coming back. Avocado, welcome. Join the Discord. Skyro. Thinking of Spyro, like the dragon. I don't think that's the same. Instant Cuber, you were just watching. I think you liked the game. That's good. Ishak, maybe you left. I think Ishak just stopped in and left. Abdurrahman, you were there. You were part of it. Yeah, there's a lot of people today. User DD1DX2ME4W. Very, very catchy name, and you know, you were helping a lot. Shiro, you know, gave me a full set of stuff to do. All right, there's so many people, guys. All of you who have been in the stream. Like, lots of people came today. That's amazing. Thank you so much. That's the recap. Is I'm going into Linux just to see, and I have a dedicated server now, so I'm basically already in Linux with Ubuntu. All right, okay, we'll go back to what if they remove Ox Alpha tomorrow. I already use 4 billion tokens. We'll see if they remove it tomorrow. We won't have it. I'm gonna check tonight though. Preparation for tomorrow. Okay. Take care. And the last time I